And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time, where we're gonna, picking up where we left off last time in Factorio, where we're heading off to Gleba. We'll probably send the ship around to various places after we get to Gleba, but we're sending it to Gleba, sending off a freighter to Gleba, mainly to deliver us there. So Gleba, I think we'll soon be ready. Not immediately ready, but soon be ready to reestablish Gleban science production. While we're working on that, we do have research going on. So we have volcanist science going while we're waiting for a little bit of space science to back up. On Novice, before going back to Fulgurian science. Right, we're waiting for the space science to filter through. And then it'll be over to Gleben science once we've got the well, I suppose we've got to export a bunch of the stuff we need to Gleba as well. Sadly, I haven't set up I haven't done any of the changes that would be necessary to make it so that we can look at the tech tree while flying. Otherwise, we could probably do that too. So we could do that right now. Anyway, Gleben wise, Gleben science. Obviously, we need to get to the point where we can go down to Aquila. That's the next planet after Gleba for us to do. So we need to finish carbon fiber. So it's carbon fiber, rocket fuel, or rocket turrets, and we could just go straight to Aquila. So that's the critical three. It's those ones. We'll probably want Spidertron. I suppose we could do transport belts and stacking. That space, that requires some space. So we'll have to, once we get done with the Vulcan, get done with the stuff on working with Fulgurian science, we'll have to start exporting science, or space science as well to Gleba, because this looks spacey, space, the white space, right? So space, plastic bar productivity isn't space. So we can increase plastic bars without exporting more. Health isn't space. Okay, so we're looking at a bunch of space science stuff we need to do. Okay, we'll get back to flying and letting things go. So yeah, right now we have it set up to finish up this low density structure to let some space science stack up here on Novice. We also don't have it set up to launch space science, so that'll actually be a little bit of a troublesome point. Or okay. So we got 9.6 boxed up here, plus some over here. Okay, so that's going to be less of a problem. We can start shipping as soon as we get to Gleba. Okay, we are consuming power faster than we use it. Is that a problem? Well, I suppose all that's doing is making us fly slower, right? It's making the power plant work slower, which makes the fuel power plant actually work slower. Okay. And it's maybe not constant. Interesting. Maybe it's how many arms that are going. Yeah, we're flying over to Gleba. We're about halfway there. Not exactly sure what I want to improve on Gleba. It might just be that we're gonna have to manually feed the science, which wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, low density's going. Probably be done shortly after we arrive. Yeah, Gleba. It really comes down to what I want to do to improve Gleban production. I'm not planning on launching anything off of Gleba because spoilage is a mechanic I don't particularly appreciate. It's not a game-breaking mechanic from my experience, but It is not a mechanic that I appreciate. There we go. That'll get the sushi pellet running a bit faster. Faster, a bit better. We should do the same over here. Inventory left. So it goes around, 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 around. So if you've got anything that's spoiled in here, hopefully it'll clear out faster. Okay. We've arrived, so let's drop us to Gleba. And then we'll pop up the ship quickly and figure out if there's anything else we want to drop while we're here. And then we'll send the ship around to pick stuff up. Still going 130, not bad. Okay, up to our ship. Got an orbit. What do you got that we don't need? Or what do you got that we want to drop? So we're not really looking for electromagnetic science right now, I think. Could drop the bullets. We're not going to drop the bullets. Gun turrets, laser turrets. We don't have any calcite on the planet. We could drop the mining drills, I suppose. Oh, and let's drop the labs and power stuff. Drop that stuff. Might as well drop that as well. I wouldn't be complaining if I had the efficiency modules, I think, so we'll drop those. Let's take those as well. Oops. Not the miners. I don't think we need the miners. Or if we want the miners, we probably want the big miners. We'll drop the big miner. Yeah. I think that with that, we've dropped everything we want. In which case, we're going to send you to Novice for picking up science. We do have one roboport here already set up. Let's dump more bots into the net. Yeah, we can see that science completed. The next one's going pretty well. Oh, good to know that we have some in the network. Just place the order and the bots will handle it. Let's see if I can get the rest of these solar panels down in a usable / meaningful way. Yeah, it looks like that's a yes. The accumulators will be a little bit harder, but all of these are basically just to stabilize the grid and not to replace the existing grid. Okay, here we go. That'll provide a little more buffer to the power. Not that we hopefully need it, but it will. You're back to slow because you don't have enough space. Okay, so that's maybe arguing, especially because we want space for here, that we need space. Science. Which results in us having a little bit of competing issues here. So this platform wants to be taking receipt of stuff to ship to Gleba. This platform needs to be taking receipt of stuff to build its production out. Okay, we have auto request on. Apparently, don't have any Lotus 6.2 modules, but that's probably fine. Yeah, fine start. So we want to upgrade our space science production here. What's the current ratio? 5 every 15 seconds. Pulling out the calculator. Calculator time. So obviously that would be 1 every 5 seconds, let's say. So it's 1 every 5 seconds. No, 1 every 3 seconds. Divided by 3. Actually, so if we say we want to like 7.5 a second, we can divide by 5 times by 15, divide by the speed of the assembler. We need like 18 assemblers working on that. So let's expand to like 18 assemblers. And that's the new this type. Okay. And it's 2 inputs in, 1 output. So zoom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we want 9, so we go out to there. Okay. So then we got say a batch that comes out, so it can be grabbers, and then like so. Oh, that's, I need to wire it first. Okay, so green network. Oops, no, we want them connected. Okay. Right now you're set to calcite. The green one, we want you set instead to say space science. Which tab is science on? That one. Oh, I suppose really we want it to be like 1,000. Stop grabbing them when it's 1,000. There we go. Then these are going to be space science. And it's going to be one of you, one of you. For the moment of making copy and pasting easy, we'll do that one there. We'll do that in a bit. Place, 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 place. Need that one, don't need that one, don't need that one. Don't need that one. Then you can come up here, take the turn. You come up here, take the turn. This, once it starts working, should be providing a whole lot more space science. And we can every once in a while come in here and check to see what the power demand is. In theory, we're not producing enough once that all gets up to speed, so we should plop out more solar panels. We may need to come back and clear out more space for more furnaces and stuff, but we'll come back and check that in a moment. Right now we got a backlog of materials, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Gleba-wise, I don't really have anything I do on Gleba, right? No, you have arrived. So you, and this is going to be a little bit conflicting with the first platform receiving its stuff. You need to pick up all the science. Well, that's the question. How much do I actually need? Well, how much do I want? That's a different question, I suppose. We know we want to go there. So we're missing carbon fiber. We're missing turrets. And we're missing Quilio. So that Quilio is going to be the worst because it's going to be 30,000 or 3,000 of each. But we need 1,000 of each, 150 of each. Okay, so let's start with 2 launches each. Maybe surplus to requirements for some of these, but oh, and was it actually all the types? Red, green, blue, space. Red, green. Okay, so we don't need you. Red, green, blue, space. 2,000 each. Plus Gleba. Okay. In theory, we got all that on Novice 2 ship, so we already see the bots on their merry way to go and retrieve it. A launch for green, launch for red, launch for blue, launch for space. So the first platform, while that's going on, it's not going to receive anything, and we are already immediately seeing some of the problems we're having is that space platforms' space science is limited by steel. Got a steel shortage. And it maybe might not take very long for it to become a carbon shortage as well, I suppose. Because we do have the reprocessing kind of focusing on... Okay, this will probably need to be redesigned at some point, but we can... That shouldn't be too hard to redesign it, to be fair. Instead of... probably swap it over to be a sushi belt of ice, and then we'll divert off what we need into the other two. Because everything that's not getting used for these two can go and be ice. Okay. So we're waiting for that to launch. And to be fair, this was running reasonably well. What do we have? I think, well, actually, it probably would make sense to temporarily swap. Wait, no, we obviously have some speed, because, oh no, we have speed 1s, we don't have speed 2s. We have speed 1s, we don't have speed 2s, yes. Or do we have speed 2s? No, we just have speed 1s in the network. Okay. It might not be the end of the world. I could probably make some speed 2s pretty quickly, right? Or ship it. Well, productivity would make it slower, right? If we're trying to improve throughput at the speed. Yeah, I suppose we can just upgrade speed. Strip some speed modules up. So passive provider to there with the one of you. Probably only need like one thing for that. Yeah, we only need like one more launch at a time. So we finished that. We've got 3 more to go. All of them are space related, I suppose. So the space on novice here is what's going to slow us down. But we're not super on a rush for it because we are waiting for stuff to get shipped up here. Not enough to fill 1 rocket. Well, not enough to fill the 2nd rocket. We got the 1st rocket load up, we got the 2nd rocket load going up. We had plenty of space, so the space is going up. And the chemical science is going up. Okay. Oh, and we have 5 launchers. I'm like, that doesn't sense. 1, 2, 4, 5. I forgot we didn't get rid of the old one, so we got 4 plus the old one. Yeah, math makes sense. Oh, and these would be good to put quality into. Or not productivity, quality. Quality. We're not input limited, but we want to maximize the output, I suppose. Yeah, and we're being space science limited. Okay. Are we being space science limited? Why aren't you working? Because you don't have any fulgurance science. Which has been dropped on the planet. Okay, so we might have a fulgurance science problem on a novice. Ah, oh no, I see. I see. There's an easy fix for this. Yeah, there's an easy fix for this. Good old take it away and put it back. Get the junk out of the way. It's not going to increase speed that much, but it'll make a little bit of a difference. I'm surprised it's taking the bot so long to take that away and put it back. Oh, and we need the underground there. Okay. Okay, then that will max out our speed here on Novice with what we've got there already. Bob Fizzle, how goes the deliveries? So waiting on the first one to be delivered. Almost got the second one in the red up. Okay. Oh no, you are actually working on the second one. Okay. So the thing we're waiting on is the blue. Okay. And I suppose we're going to run out of space, so we're going to have to short it, send it up a bit early, send it off a bit early. Or we can just dump the rocks. Yeah, let's dump the rocks. These are taking up space. Don't need. Yeah. I don't regret doing that. That makes sense. And it's 5 for each batch of those. So we got that loading. We got that loading. Not sure if we have enough space for the blue. We can save a little space there. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no, we should have space for everything to load. No space for anything to load after everything's loaded, but current loading should work. Yeah, at some point we can send, and it might be the next load. The next load we might send some higher quality stuff through. Right, because we got 582 greens here. I would not be surprised if we get hit 1,000 greens, for example. No, maybe not. Who knows? This orphans are going. They'll be done in 6 if we don't run out of space, and we're probably going to run out of space, so that'll probably slow down. In fact, it looks like it's slowing down right now. You're launched, you're launched. Not enough yet to fill up the thing. Ah, okay. We'll take the limit off. Or actually, we'll still limit it, but we'll limit it down. One tab deeper. Same here. One tab deeper. Because yeah, it needs to hit 1,000 to ship a launch. And it's almost there. And it wasn't there because we had too many quality ones in the feed, which should be now fixed. And I suppose we can also come back through and say, oh, can't do that on the red handle or long handle ones. We can do it on the yellow ones, so we can upgrade the speed of those ones. A little bit more. Now that rocket is assigned to it. So we can go back to the first platform. We do want to improve the throughput on this first platform. Hmm. Oh, we definitely got, I think we got enough iron production. Though if that's the bottleneck, that's not necessarily a thing. No, I definitely do want that over there, if we're going that route. Yeah. And that would give us more space for carbon if we start having carbon problems. Take that and start out of the system for the moment. We should have the launch capacity, and we do have the launch capacity, so we got some foundries coming up. One of you is going to melt iron ore. The other one is going to make iron plates. Lift variety filtered to, or not iron ore. Where's the alloy? Not there. It was metallic chunks. And yeah, at least with the amount of iron we're getting, we don't have a shortage. I think the bottleneck was actually the smelter here. But yeah, now what this is doing is, okay, it's not technically doing it for all the iron, but half the iron that come, or half the metallic asteroids that come here gets filtered off and specifically put aside for these crushers to crush. And then it all gets shoved back on if it was rejected. So half the asteroids that come by, if they're metallic, get to the side. All the rest get put back onto the belt. Okay, last one of those, last one of those. You're empty. So with that, we now just swap the polarity of this belt to go the other way, like so. There we go. Now we got iron ore melting to operate a casting furnace to produce lots more iron. So what, that's basically 6. No, those were 2. The electric furnace is 2-speed, right? 2-speed. Okay, so it's basically 3 of those. We just tripled the throughput of the iron. That might not be enough. We'll find out in a moment. That should get space ions going a lot faster. Bulb fizzle, heavy landed or heavy loaded. Not quite. We're waiting specifically on deliveries. Clear some space temporarily. Stuff is currently en route to the space launchers is probably what's going on. I hear multiple rocket launches. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's definitely looking a lot healthier from a throughput standpoint. And then you... That's actually so you're 20 every 3.2. Wait, 20 every 3.2? Yeah, so you only eat 200 for every recipe this makes. So in theory, I can plop a bunch of speed modules into you, which will make you 80% faster, and we still got the space for that in the production on that one. I'll crank out a bunch more metal. Whether or not the inserters will be able to handle that is a different problem. And then we'll probably have higher electrical demands. Oh yeah, we're electricity blocked. Well, that's helping. And the metal's backing up. That's good to see. So in hindsight, then that means we don't need these speed models. If the bottleneck is these, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, Bob Fizzle, you loaded. You are... don't quite have enough space, is what that's telling me. Oh wait, now it's loaded. Okay. Now, come to Gleba to make more space for the next shipment. And we're in Gleba, awaiting its arrival. Also waiting for the text to complete back on Novice, but it's a slightly different problem. Is it space science? Well, I can imagine maybe it isn't space science, and we've actually dropped enough. We may have dropped enough. Okay. Space is going a lot better. It's backed up. We're now limited by Fulgura working its way out of the system. Okay. So speed is going to decline. No, it'll pick up a little bit as space works its way into the system because it's going faster. But it is going to decline because we are starting to work through the backlog. Accumulators ran empty. Power feels weaker than it should be. Okay, doesn't look like it's a nuclear power plant problem. It may have just been the first time I've got the base spun up enough that we were able to deplete all the storage. Rock solid storage, and yeah, I think that's what's happened. I think we finally worked the base up to using enough power that it doesn't have that much power production. But yeah, that would track. That'd be annoying, but that would track. $47 to upgrade. Okay. Either way, we got our science shipment on the way to Gleba. We'll probably send it around to Fulgura to pick up more Fulguran science, and Vulcanus to pick up more Vulcanus science. How much do we have on Fulgura? We don't have a stack ready. Why don't we have a stack ready? Because we have a shortage of U, which is a shortage of Hyalonium solution, which is a solution or shortage of Hyalonium ore, because the network's backed up. On the blue, blue is backed up because that'd be the wrong way around. Okay. Well, that only temporarily fixes it because now we've got it being a problem with green. Um, green's backed up because I don't need that much green. Okay. That's wire. Wait, that's... No, that's batteries. Okay. Trying to figure out if I got a green to route the green into. So blue and... where's my red? There's the red. So the red goes... into there, out there, across there, into you. And okay, we just haven't backed up the greens, the red greens. Okay, so we do need a scrapping setup for green. I have no idea if we have enough scrappers on Fulgura to make that work. But we can try anyway. What are we missing? We're missing the scrappers. Okay, so we'll have to manually go back to full guard to fix that. Or I can try to throw something together that will build them. Passive writer chest. Maker, can you be assigned to make cyclers? In which case, this will need to request gears, blue, and concrete. Gears, concrete. Gears, blue, and concrete. Where's the concrete? There's the concrete. And that will make iron and copper. Iron's over there. Iron loop's over there. Yeah, okay. So I can probably... Actually, that's... Iron, and then we already have a copper wire one. So let's do a filter splitter here. Send iron one way, copper the other. Copper wire the other. Okay, and the copper wire wants to find its way. Got a copper wire disassembler already, if memory serves. You go over there to there, into that one. Okay. As the spaghetti continues to spaghetti more, yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is my copper wire. We needed the copper wire from over there, so we take it through there. Okay. That's the iron plates. The iron plates get dealt with. Now we're at the point where, oh no, you need some underground. Okay. Got 21 recyclers, so let's have you stop doing that. Make some underground for the moment. Means we'll need to accept or request some logistics belts, but that's fine. We're making logistics belts, I think. We're not boxing logistics belts. Okay. We just haven't have enough in the network, apparently, to meet all the demands for the stuff I'm building. If anything, that means I'll have to swap over to red because we have red in the network. And we have a thing to get rid of red. That's what you are. So the red, this red, should take the long way around to the iron. There we go. Yeah, it's stuff not always being damaged. I know what that stuff is. It's not an important issue. That's the overflow iron gets dealt with, and hopefully we don't have overflow plastic anytime soon. Wait, no, that's not going in the right place. Oh no, it is going in the right place. Okay. Granted, that right place is get turned into copper to be stored unless we don't need the copper, in which case get utterly recycled in non-existence. Yeah, you're still going science-wise. It's now arrived at Gleba, so please drop me all my science. Are we having unloading issues on... No, we're just waiting for things to land. Okay. Should be dropping you soon. There it goes. And then looks like we ran out of blue. Ran out of space science. We'll need the red and the green probably as well. Okay, we'll have to manually throw the red in as we need it. Almost ready to start that science back up again. And yeah, you're slowing down on Novice as we slowly work out of Fulgura, which is why we're fixing stuff on Fulgura, because otherwise, well, we probably don't have enough to finish that anyway anymore. here. So mentally get prepared for not being able to do it anyway. But if we can fix the Fulgura stuff, then the solution will exist. Okay, we're waiting on a lot of underground. There's enough belts, there's just not enough underground. And then waiting on blue. And you're got belts. There we go. That's going to give us the underground. Just get that working. And there's just a couple blue inserters, and we should have fixed the green problem, which eventually will just mean I'll have to go find a different problem someplace else to fix, but move in the right direction. 15 entities, 8 entities, 13, 11, 9. Okay, now we want you to swap to that type of inserter. Very rapidly should have plenty of blue ones to meet those requirements. There they go. And it's working, and it's flowing. Gets the green going. Which gets the blue being consumed. Slowly. Which is being bottlenecked by the belts at this point, I think. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Of course, we don't have that type of splitter on hand. So once more. Okay, make some regular splinter first. It makes a fast splitter. Should upgrade you, and then we can just speed up the rate that this belt goes. Oh, I don't have fast underground. Well, red underground. Yeah, what speed? That's what it's exactly called. Okay, looks like the bot's got enough to do all that. Yeah, we probably are at the point where I should give up on trying to do this with the current delivery, because obviously the above fizzle, which can get sent out to its next location, it should. Let's get it sent out to Vulcanus instead. Was going to send it to Fulgura to pick up some Fulguran science, but Fulgura ain't quite ready for it because of all the blue bottlenecking. And we're waiting for the construction room wants to catch up. Okay. Look at the time. I've let this part go on too long, so I hope you've all been enjoying. I am going to go ahead and put a part break in here. I think in the next one, because we've received our delivery at Gleba, will be time to actually get the pentapog eggs being produced again, so we can spool up and run Gleban science production. So if that's what you're here to see, that should be up here in the next part, which if you're watching YouTube, should be up tomorrow. If you're watching here on Twitch, hope you've been enjoying. I know not many people necessarily tuning because I'm not the best at making sure to stream at the same time every day. But we're gonna be picking this up after I take a short tea break to sip a little bit of tea. So it's gonna be like a minute or two. Well, it's gonna be less than a minute because I'm just gonna quick sip the tea. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time until the next part, and bye for now.